I tell everybody, regardless of your desire to ever compete for any reason, I think it's a good thing to do. If you're going to train jiu-jitsu, I think it's a good thing to do. Most people won't ever get into a fight that train jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
They probably won't ever get into a fight. And
Yeah.
the easiest, most readily available access we have to a controlled, simulated fight is a jiu-jitsu tournament, you know.
Yeah.
So it's you feel that aggression, you know.
So
it's good.
obviously over the years you would have been able to deal with the pressure in order to, you know, compete. If there's a white belt out there kind of needs some kind of advice as where to start in terms of the preparation of the competitions, everything like that, what would be the first few things you'd say to them?
I would say, man, there's a lot to go into it. I would say mostly make sure that your fundamentals are solid. You know, like
Right.
don't try to jump ahead and go and learn like the newest, craziest thing. You're going to go to any tournament right now, and you're going to see 2-stripe white belts, you know, playing reverse de la Hiva all day long. You know, they're playing all kinds of lapel stuff. Everybody's got Keenan's series, you know, and playing the game. So. But you know, these same guys, a lot of the time they'll jump ahead of that program, and you know they can't even pass a guard in the meantime. You know, they're looking for leg locks and can't even pass a guard. So I think it's very important to have an extremely strong fundamental base, and
Right.
to have your defense on point early on like that too. So I mean, as far as what you're going to drill, and I would say drill like crazy. The most dramatic difference that can be seen in tournaments are the guys who drill. You know, that and the guys that are conditioned, you know, those two big things. So make sure that you're drilling solid technique, you know, and not making huge egregious errors and drilling bad habits into yourself, but drilling solid fundamentals under an intelligent supervisor and coach. And you know, make sure you're conditioned, because you're going to have that adrenaline dump, and you know what happens after that happens is what's really going to determine a lot of it. You know, it's the worst feeling in the world to lose to someone that you know you're way more technical than. You know, it's a horrible feeling. But yeah, and then psychologically, I think for me, I don't know if this works for everyone, but for me, I had to kind of lie to myself and say that all these nerves and fear that I was feeling is actually excitement. You know,
Right.
because like my body doesn't really know the difference. You know, I still have a crazy heart rate. I'm breathing, you know, more sporadically. I'm having like a rush of thoughts, and so I'm going through these physiological responses to fear. But it's the same ones you're going to have basically for excitement. So you know, if you just kind of tell yourself when you're on the edge of the mat and you're about to go up there, you know, I'm excited. I'm ready to go and have fun and show off and just do this thing. And that to me was one of the most helpful psychological elements for anybody competing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the fear factor, as you say, like it kind of when you spend time on the mat, is it right in saying that, you know, that kind of, you know what to expect, and you kind of it's weird because your mind almost subconsciously kind of learns that, you know, you can deal with it no matter what.
Yeah. I think
the more time you spend on the mat, you know, the more you're able to deal with that pressure or come competition day.
Yeah, I think, and that's what I think is one of the most beautiful aspects of jiu-jitsu too, isn't it? I mean, because you have it gets drilled into, I guess, muscle memory, for lack of a better word, so immediate. There's so much contact, there's so much feeling that you're dealing with, and sensitivity that you have to have, and response based on tactile observations, not just visual. You know, so whereas in striking arts, a lot of the time there is an element of that, but it's a lot less contact, a lot less physical contact if you're dealing with boxing or kickboxing. So you have to rely a lot more on visual cues and subtle things like that. So it's very different than in jiu-jitsu, right? I mean, so but I mean, I think that's the greatest thing, because like you respond to that sensation, you respond to the position. It's like you get there, you know immediately what to do, you know, or if you've drilled it enough, if you rolled enough. Yeah. So that's why it's such a great martial art, man. It's really, that's why it's one of the best. So.